of the WNBA will be Caitlin Clark. If she stays healthy, there's a group of them that would hope for her to be out. But
why do you say she's going to be the Jackie Robinson of the WNBA?
Well,
it's not like she's the first white girl.
She's not the first white girl, but she's the first white superstar at the levels where she's scoring the...
A basketball court, a flagrant foul, a LeBron-level flop, and a Twitter storm so chaotic, it makes a reality TV reunion look like a yoga retreat. This ain't just hoops. It's a full-blown soap opera with dunks, shade, and enough hot takes to crash the internet. If you thought the WNBA was all about jump shots and layups, honey, you're in for a wake-up call hotter than a summer sidewalk.
The threes she's shooting, she's like a Steph Curry. She's the first actual superstar that people care. When's the last time we watched like college basketball? If I told you, tell me the greatest college basketball female basketball players last 30 years, and you watch... I know her. She's our meat, but you look at some of these names, you see some of these people.
Ready for the tea? Let's spill it. All right, let's set the stage. Caitlin Clark, the golden child of women's basketball, is out here breaking records like they're made of glass. She's the Steph Curry of the WNBA, splashing threes, filling arenas, and single-handedly dragging the league's TV ratings out of the prehistoric era. Then there's Angel Reese, Chicago Sky's resident rebound machine, who's got more drama than a Kardashian family group chat. Their latest clash, a game on May 17th, 2025, that turned a regular season tip-off into a cultural cage match. Spoiler alert, it's messier than a toddler with a jar of glitter. Here's how it went down. Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, is hosting Reese's Chicago Sky. The game's already hyped. ESPN's practically throwing a parade for it. Why? Because Clark and Reese are the WNBA's version of Batman versus Superman, except with less capes and more elbows.
Caitlin Clark is playing a game. And there's this issue with her and Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark pushes one of the teammates of Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese pushes one of the teammates of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark fouls.
The crowd's buzzing, 17,274 fans packed into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and 2.7 million more glued to their TVs. That's right, this was the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. And it wasn't because of the popcorn. Mid-game, things get spicy. Angel Reese shoves one of Clark's teammates because apparently she's playing basketball like it's a WWE audition. Clark, not one to back down, responds with a foul on Reese that's harder than a Monday morning alarm clock. Reese hits the deck like she's auditioning for the next Marvel movie, channeling LeBron James's finest flop. The refs call it a flagrant one, and suddenly, the court's hotter than a TikTok dance trend. But it doesn't stop there. This moment lights a fuse that blows up into a full-on social media inferno. Cue the outrage machine. X, loses its collective mind. One user, Quinthox, points out that Reese fouled first, pushing Clark's teammate to snag a rebound, and Clark's foul was just her clapping back. Fair play, right? Nope. The narrative spins faster than a fidget spinner in 2017. Suddenly, it's not about basketball. It's about race, privilege, and who's allowed to have an opinion. Former NFL star Robert Griffin III, aka RG3, dares to praise Caitlin Clark, and ESPN's Ryan Clark swoops in like a hawk with a vendetta. Ryan's take? RG3's opinion is invalid because, get this, he's married to a white woman.
Angel Reese does one of these LeBron flops and falls on the ground. She learned it from LeBron. Fall to the ground. And the next thing you know, DeMarcus like, oh my God, she's protected. Oh, it's all because she's white.
I'm sorry, did we time travel back to the 1800s? Is there a rule now that your spouse's race determines your sports commentary cred? Somebody call HR, because this is wilder than a reality show plot twist. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out here claiming she's the reason the WNBA's popping off. In a post-game clip, she's like, y'all aren't watching just for one person, it's because of me too. Sis, let's check the receipts. Average WNBA game attendance? 7,300. Angel Reese's games? About 10,200. Not bad. But Caitlin Clark's games? A whopping 15,300. Home or away? The math ain't mathing, Angel. It's like saying you're the star of a movie when you're in the background of one scene. Caitlin's packing arenas like Beyoncé packs stadiums, while Angel's serving up drama like it's the main course. Now, let's talk about the real controversy, the one that's got everyone clutching their pearls. After Reese's Oscar-worthy flop, rumors start swirling that Indiana Fever fans hurled racist comments at her during the game. The WNBA launches an investigation faster than you can say Twitter trending. Social media's on fire, with posts like "Amuse crying foul," claiming fans booing Reese's missed free throws is being spun as a hate crime.
Angel Reese is getting absolutely obliterated today for all kinds of reasons. Obviously, we're going to look at the backlash because now people are just flat calling it like they sees it. They're saying Angel Reese.
ESPN's Chiny Ogwumike jumps in, amplifying the racism allegations, only to backtrack with an apology when the WNBA drops its bombshell. No evidence of racist remarks. Zero. Nada. The league checked tapes, interviewed fans, and even reviewed the audio. Nothing. Chinese out here issuing a public mea culpa, looking like she accidentally liked her ex's Instagram post from 2017, but the plot thickens. Some folks like US Senator Jim Banks are now demanding Angel Reese apologize to Fever fans for what they're calling a race hoax. They're comparing her to Bubba Wallace and Jussie Smollett, saying she played the victim card for clout. Harsh. Maybe. But when you're out here implying racism without receipts, you're playing with fire in a league already struggling to keep the lights on. Patrick Bet David, the podcast king and truth bomb dropper, steps in and lays it all bare. He's like, Angel Reese isn't Caitlin Clark, and no amount of hype or flopping is changing that. PBD pulls no punches, pointing out Reese's abysmal 22.7% field goal percentage.
Lied about a race hoax, just like Bubba Wallace, just like Jussie Smollett. And now, after the WNBA concluded their investigation and released a statement, people are demanding Angel Reese apologize to.
And then there's Brittany Griner, waltzing into this mess like a guest star in a sitcom. She's got the nerve to complain that fans watching her play is disruptive. Yes, you heard that right. A professional athlete is mad that people are showing up to watch her do her job. Brittany's out here acting like a WNBA game should be a quiet co-working space where she can sip oat milk lattes and check her emails between free throws. It used to be chill, she says, but now there's all these fans yelling and stuff. Girl, that's called a crowd. It's kind of the point of professional sports. If you want peace and quiet, maybe try intramural yoga. Caitlin Clark's bringing in thousands of fans, and Brittany's acting like it's a personal attack. Somebody get her a participation trophy and a noise-cancelling headset. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the racial narrative. The Clark-Reese rivalry has been dripping with racial undertones since their college days, when Reese's LSU Tigers beat Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes in the 2023 NCAA Championship. Some fans and pundits paint Clark as the hero and Reese as the villain, and it's not hard to see why that narrative stings. Reese is black, Clark is white, and the internet loves a simple story.
Angel Reese, go ahead and play it. She needs a lot of attention. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of
Boom, what a move. Okay, so average WNBA.
But here's the tea. Clark's not out here asking to be anyone's savior. She's just balling. Reese, on the other hand, keeps feeding the drama with comments like, "I'm the reason you're watching too." Sis, the numbers say otherwise, but go off. The problem isn't their race, it's that one's playing like a superstar and the other's playing like she's auditioning for a reality show. Enter Gemele Hill, who's trying to cool things down by saying, Angel Reese isn't the villain in Caitlin Clark's story, and Clark isn't the savior in hers. Fair point, Gemele. Let's stop turning every foul into a think piece. But when Reese's camp keeps pushing the victim narrative without proof, it's hard to keep the conversation about basketball. And don't get me started on Ryan Clark's wild take about RG3. Saying a black man can't speak on black women in sports because of his white wife is the kind of logic that makes you wonder if ESPN's handing out hot takes with their paychecks. It's not about race, it's about performance. Clark's earning her shine.
Viewership, okay? 7,300 in attendance, okay? The average Angel Reese game is 10,100, 10,200. They come to watch her. You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Reese? She's earning headlines, but not the kind you hang in the rafters. Here's where it gets real. The WNBA's got a golden opportunity right now. Caitlin Clark's bringing in viewers who didn't even know the league existed last year. She's the tide lifting all boats, but some players are acting like she's stealing their life jackets. Instead of celebrating the attention, they're whining about toxic fans and privilege. Newsflash, fans yelling at a game isn't a hate crime. It's sports. And privilege? Clark's not out here coasting on her skin tone. She's worked her tail off, putting up numbers that make stat sheets blush. Reese, meanwhile, is shooting 22.7% from the field. That's not systemic injustice, that's just missing shots. Patrick Bet-David summed it up best. The WNBA is a clown show right now, and the ringmasters are wearing jerseys. If the league wants to capitalize on this moment, they need to focus on the game, not the gossip. Clark's injury, a quad strain that's got her sidelined for at least 2 weeks, is a gut punch for the WNBA. Without her, the league's losing its biggest draw. Angel Reese might be trending on Instagram with 4.9 million followers to Clark's 2 million, but social media clout doesn't fill arenas. Clark's absence is a chance for Reese to step up, but if she keeps bricking shots and stirring drama, the WNBA is going to be back to playing in empty gyms faster than you can say airball.
G3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension.
So, what's the takeaway? The WNBA is at a crossroads. They can ride Caitlin Clark's wave and build a league that's must-see TV, or they can keep chasing headlines with racial drama and flop controversies. Angel Reese has the talent to be a star. She's already a rebounding beast, but she's got to let her game do the talking. Right now, her Twitter fingers are louder than her jump shot. And Brittany Griner? Maybe she should embrace the fans instead of acting like they're crashing her private meditation session. As for Clark, keep cooking, queen. You're not just carrying the fever, you're carrying the whole dang league. All right, fam, that's the tea, and it's piping hot. If you're loving this drama-fueled deep dive into the WNBA's wildest saga, smash that like button harder than Caitlin Clark hits a 3. Subscribe and hit the bell, because we're just getting started, and trust me, this soap opera's got more twists than a telenovela.
Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. It's called the freaking game that they pay you money to play. Don't play the game.
Caitlin Clark, the 23-year-old point guard drafted no. 1 overall by the Fever in 2024, is the WNBA's golden child. She's the Steph Curry of women's hoops, splashing long-range threes and breaking records like they're made of tissue paper. This Iowa grad holds the NCAA record for most points scored by any player, man or woman, in college basketball history. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon, packing arenas and dragging the WNBA's TV ratings out of the dark ages. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, the 23-year-old forward drafted no. 7 by the sky is a force in her own right. Known for her relentless rebounding, she's already made history as the fastest player to reach 500 points and 500 rebounds in the WNBA, doing it in just 38 games. But while Clark's game speaks for itself, Reese's flair for drama keeps her in the headlines. The spark, a foul, a flop, and a firestorm. Here's where it gets juicy. Mid-game, the tension's thicker than a triple overtime thriller. Reese, hustling for a rebound, shoves one of Clark's teammates with the subtlety of a linebacker. Ex-users like a Clay Travis point out that Reese's push was a clear foul, caught on tape for all to see. Clark, not one to let her squad get punked, responds with a hard foul on Reese.
Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Tom, let me just...
Go ahead, I'm so mad.
WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring
a take foul to stop an easy layup. The refs call it a flagrant 1, and Reese hits the deck like she's been struck by lightning. We're talking a flop so dramatic it could win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. Reese pops up, fired up, reportedly yelling, "You crazy as fuck on! What the fuck arc is wrong with you?" Clark, cool as a cucumber, brushes it off, later saying, "It's just a good take foul." Either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send them to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. Sounds like standard basketball stuff, right? Wrong. This moment lights a match under a powder keg. Suddenly, the game's not about hoops. It's about race, privilege, and who's allowed to have a hot take. Social media erupts faster than a microwave burrito. X is a war zone of opinions, with some users, like Az, the Facility FS1, calling out Reese for overreacting, while others, like Underdog, note the double standard. If Reese had fouled Clark like that, the narrative would have been different. ESPN's Ari Ivory tries to keep it chill, saying, "Let's not make it anything that it's not and move on, but the internet's already too far gone." The race card, a narrative that won't quit, then comes the bombshell. Rumors start swirling that Indiana Fever fans hurled racist comments at Reese during the game.
Your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us.
The WNBA, not messing around, launches a full-on investigation, complete with fan interviews, video reviews, and audio analysis. Reese herself doesn't confirm hearing anything, but she supports the probe, saying, "There's no place in this league for that." Social media's split down the middle. Some, like Amuse on X, mock the allegations, claiming fans booing Reese's missed free throws is being spun as a hate crime. Others, including ESPN's Chiny Ogwumika, amplify the racism claims, only to backtrack with an apology when the WNBA drops its verdict. No evidence of racist remarks. The league's statement is clear. Based on information gathered, we have not substantiated it. This doesn't sit well with everyone. US. Senator Jim Banks takes to X, demanding Reese apologize to Fever fans for what he calls a race hoax, comparing her to Bubba Wallace and Jussie Smollett.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Explain.
Listen, man, and again, I will emphasize this every day of the week, twice on Sunday. I love my people. I love black people.
Harsh? Maybe. But when you're implying racism without receipts, you're playing a dangerous game in a league already fighting for relevance. The Fever, for their part, are thrilled with the findings, with CEO Mel Raines stating, "At Gainbridge Fieldhouse, we are committed to providing the best possible basketball experience for players and fans where hate speech has absolutely no place." Reese stays silent post-investigation, dodging questions at a press conference after a loss to the Phoenix Mercury. The hot takes: RG3, Ryan Clark, and a marriage controversy enter Robert Griffin III, aka RG3, the former NFL quarterback turned ESPN talking head. He dares to praise Caitlin Clark, tweeting that Reese has fed into this with her actions and needs to do better. Reasonable, right? Not according to ESPN's Ryan Clark, who drops a take so wild, it's like he's trying to win the Hot Take Olympics. Ryan suggests RG3's opinion on Reese doesn't count because, wait for it, he's married to a white woman. I'm sorry, did we just teleport to a parallel universe where your spouse's race cancels your sports commentary? This ain't a debate about RG3's Netflix password. It's about basketball. But Ryan's out here acting like RG3's marriage certificate is a disqualifying factor. Ex-users lose it, with some calling it the most absurd gatekeeping since someone tried to trademark the word vibes. Jamele Hill, another ESPN alum, tries to cool things down, saying, "Angel Reese is not the villain in Caitlin Clark's story, no more than Caitlin Clark is the savior in hers. She's got a..."
But I think sometimes we do play the race card too much, or when it's not necessary, because everybody's trying to make this about a, come on, black man, protect the sisters, brother. This ain't racial.